Good afternoon, my friends. Just a couple of things I just wanted to mention to say. Um, in light of so much social isolation, a lot of things I see listed on Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Pinterest, all kinds of crazy stuff, and um, you know, so many different levels of communication we use these days, and they can be used to encourage people, make them laugh, or make them smile at least, or share some very helpful information. But they can also have the opposite effect, causing people to feel bad about how they look, how they feel, how lousy their house looks like, or a million other negatives we could list and take a long time to do that. You can also waste time playing games, of course, and I'm sure that I'm not the only guilty one of wasting time that way sometimes, but it might surprise you to hear that social networks of every kind can also kill. And, when I say that, I want to be very clear, not necessarily physically immediately, but there's emotional damage that takes place it's almost impossible to reverse. And so I want to talk about that for a little second here today. Proverbs 18:21 says, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruit." Uh, Heavy. So my words have the power to impart life to someone or to kill them. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. And the status update, the photo, the text message, every word I speak or type carries enormous life giving or life stealing potential. Words are not neutral. Status updates are not innocent. The words we speak and type and text today can have effect all the way right into eternity. James 3 verses 5-6 says, "How great a forest is set ablaze by such a small fire. And the tongue is a fire, a world of unrighteousness. The tongue is set among our members, staining the whole body, setting on fire the entire course of life, and set on fire by hell." That's heavy. That's really heavy. So our words have the potential to create a roaring, blazing, consuming fire. With my words, I can set people on fire for Christ, or I can set people on fire for wickedness. Imagine how careful I would be if every time I spoke, there was a small burst of flame that came out of my mouth. I mean, you wouldn't want to be talking too close to somebody. Social distancing would definitely be a thing for everybody. But man, I think that we would really start to speak ever so much more carefully than we do at times. And as all too often, I'm reading people's posts, and they're not careful at all about the words that they're using. Uh, so many people don't see their posts as an issue at all. It's like it's out there in Never Land, and nobody, but consider the people who read and see those posts, and for them they could be an all-consuming fire, and they can be destructive, and really, as another pastor friend of mine said, a root of hell. And in fact, there's a scripture, Proverbs 10:21, that says, "The lips of righteousness feed many," and the word feed there really talks about the shepherd, how the shepherd would gather his sheep. They listen closely. He loves his sheep. He takes care of him. He makes sure that they get water. He makes sure that they get grass that they need. And in the case of us as pastors or people who are to speak life into other people's lives, that's what it says. We're supposed to bring life, life-giving water and food to people around us. And we need to take responsibility, personal responsibility, for the words that we speak, so that they would become, rather than destructive words, that they would be words of encouragement and helpful, and to literally breathe life into people's lives. As a matter of fact, as Christians, I'm pretty sure if we really look into the word, we'll find out that it is our divine responsibility, our responsibility before God, to speak life into those people around us, and with our words of encouragement and the words of love that we're supposed to speak into our lives, into others' lives. I guess the question is, do our words and updates and texts and photos emails, the things we post, even the things we grab off of another website or off of another Facebook page or things and paste into our own, do those things breathe life into the people who would read our posts, to all those people around us who would say, hey, I don't understand why that person who is usually very positive would speak or would post such a negative thing. So this is just a short quickie for me today. Just think about this. Some questions to ask yourself, or before you speak the words, or before you post something, before you send a text or an email. Number one, does this help? Is this going to help somebody become a better person because they've read or heard these things? Does it help somebody think in a more godly manner, or think in a better way? Does this promote faith in any way? Does it promote worry or frustration or anger? What does it promote? Does this impart life? Does this impart? Would you be leading somebody to water, or leading them to grass, someplace to feed? That this is going to help you grow and become a better person because you've read this, or you've heard this from me, or seen this as one of my pictures or posts. Does it bring laughter or faith? Well, some of the stuff that brings laughter really isn't appropriate for anybody to read, never mind those who would call themselves Christians. And the hard thing is, and I know this from my own experience, is reading people's Facebook posts. You're going through your flipping through everything that people are writing, and all of a sudden you come across some post and you begin to read it, and you don't realize until you're halfway through or all the way through that really it's frankly filthy and isn't appropriate for something to be seen like that. And I guess what I'm saying is, just think about what you're posting. We used to sing a little Sunday school song, "Oh, be careful, little eyes, what you see." Excuse my singing. It's not really all that great. "Oh, be careful, little hands, what you touch." All those things. Be careful, little lips, what you say. What I'm saying is this. Your words, spoken or written, will have either a damaging effect on somebody else's life or a healing, an encouraging effect. And honestly, listen, it isn't fair for people to be tearing one another down, especially in light of the stuff that's going on around us right now. Let's take a moment to be a blessing, to be an encouragement to somebody else, to be able to say to them, listen, I want you to be able to smile and tell them a joke, tell them something funny that's going to be an encouragement and a blessing to them, and not something that's going to be dirty and filthy or bring destruction into their lives, thinking they're not good enough or they're not cute enough or all those kinds of things. Does it promote gratefulness? Does it encourage trust? Does it help people in all the face of adversity? All those kinds of questions we need to learn to ask one another to be an encouragement. Our words have the power to give life or death, or to bring death, the power to set aflame or to help and encourage, to do good or evil. As simple as that. Let's use some wisdom in the things we say, the things we post. Let's take a little time to think positively and speak positively, to speak life into to people around us that'll read our posts, read our emails, read our texts, or hear us speak. I love to hear a good joke. I love to laugh, but sometimes people will expect us to laugh at something that you just kind of go, oh boy. There's a term I use often around people that know me, and I just say, tickle me. I don't want to be rude. And I think sometimes we just got to stop and think a little bit more often. Thanks for taking the time to listen to me. And I am so blessed to have so many very positive, wonderful people in my life. And I hope that through this video, that your life would be a little bit encouraged and that you would be blessed. May God bless and work with you through all that you're going through. And I know that through this COVID pandemic, that there are a lot of people who are struggling with a lot of stuff. But let's be a positive influence. Let's be an encouragement. Let's be a blessing to those around us. Again, thank you for listening. May God's love be with you, walk with you. May he speak to you and bless you and encourage you in so many ways. Again, thanks for listening. Take care.